Oh, hi. Welcome to another session of Wing Chun. Going back to the basics, here is a Sil Lim Tao part 2. So I'm going to just recap what we did here. We stand with your legs together. We put our hands up, 1, 2, and then we do a little circle with your wrist. Put your fist right up underneath your armpits. When you do that, you crouch down, bend your knees at the same time. Once you bend your knees, you open your toes out once and you heel out twice, and then you thrust your hips forward like this. Okay, so I'm not gonna make any jokes about that this time. So once again, like that. So you need to thrust your hip forward to give the forward energy up against somebody. So this is the weirdest thing in the world, and it feels really awkward. Now your ass is pulled in, you're doing a kegel, your quads and your thighs are hard as rock because you're activating your muscles for your quads, and you lean back an inch or two. Okay, so now this stance here is called, well, generally referred to just as the Wincheon Stance, but the proper name is Yi Ji Kim Yong Ma. Just to break it down a little bit further, this move is called also the character to abduction stance. So it's not this. The second half is, I don't know what an abduction stance is, but Yi Ji Kim Yong Ma, it also means Yi is number 2, Ji is the word, because the way I'm standing, it looks like I'm standing on the word 2 in Chinese. So there's 2 lines. One line is the tip of my toe that I'm standing on top of, and the second line is the back of the heel. And Kim Yong is squeezing the sheep. Why is that so weird, this name? Because when somebody shaves the sheep for wool, they usually put the sheep between your legs, and you usually straddle the sheep's head and body with your knees. So you're squeezing the sheep, and then you shave the sheep fur off for wool. So that's word number 2, squeezing the sheep. Ma is the horse, and meaning horse stance. So that's why it's called Yi Ji Kim Yong Ma, or character to abduction stance. But to make it short, we just call it the Wincheon Stance. So we're at this stage here. The hips forward, your ass pulled in, hips forward, and the arms here. And now what we do is we go like this. We do the cross hand, left hand on top, and then we flip this to the front. Also left hand on the outside. Okay, so left hand on the outside, left hand on the outside, and then pull back. So I'll just start from the beginning. So going back to the Wincheon Stance, it's not a stance that you need to do outside of the Wing Chun school. It is a stance that you do only in the Wing Chun school. So what is the stance good for? It's good for you to use this stance when you're standing in a normal situation. And you're in a normal situation, you're standing around and you're picking your nose, you're having a drink, you know, you're in a bar, whatever, and suddenly you get a pressure coming at you. Now this could be a punch, this could be a shove, this could be a push, whatever it is. This is the stance that you don't use in the beginning. You don't consciously go into this stance, and it's not a fighting stance. This stance in this configuration, it is a stance that is teaching you how to root, how to concentrate your energy forward, and how to stabilize your stance so that you're not toppling over when somebody gives you pressure. So how do you use this is when you're standing here normally like this, drinking a beer, picking your nose, whatever, and I'm standing like 2 feet together, which is like not together, but 2 feet right on the ground, like normally anybody would stand. As soon as I get pressure at me, I would automatically go in to this stance. And that's how this stance is used. So by no means you should be in the stance when you are in a confrontation. You don't go into this stance consciously like anything else. You don't like, oh, you're ready to fight. Okay, I lean back and I do this into the stance. That's not what you should be doing. Okay, we need to take this as a concept where you see everybody doing that statue, that Wing Chun statue move is completely wrong. Because, you know, you look at Bruce Lee, he doesn't do that. You look at Tony Ferguson, he doesn't do that. You look at Anderson Silva, he doesn't do that. Okay? So this is the stance that you would go into from a regular not fighting position to all of a sudden somebody push you, and for that moment, instead of falling over, okay, because why are you falling over? Because you're letting your weight of your upper body be off your center line, your center of gravity, which is here. Here's your center of gravity, but if you're getting a punch, if you're getting a push, if you don't lean back a few inches and then thrust the hip forward and bend your knees, you're not going to transfer that energy into the ground. So when somebody push you or punch you, you're gonna try to resist, but it's not going to help. And then you're off balance, and you're not transferring the weight down into your legs and your knees, and then you end up falling over. So whenever you get that pressure from somebody, it now could be a hand that you're blocking, it could be a punch that you're blocking, it could be a push that you're absorbing. You learn to suddenly go from a regular stance into this stance where it pushes down and out and into the ground. So you're actually taking that forward energy into your upper body, transfer it like this, transferring it into your legs, and then when you do the hip forward thing and bend your knees just slightly and lean back just slightly, because you got to absorb that force, and that will in turn put that energy into the ground and into your stance, so that you're not falling down like this. You're basically transferring energy, and you're rooting that forward energy that someone gives you into your stance. Now you only do this momentarily, because if somebody is attacking you, you go like this and you transfer that weight into your stance. You can't just sit there and do this, because the other person isn't going to just stand there and not go forward and then begin to pummel punches at you. So this stance is only to be done naturally in a split second when you do have force being exerted at you. And then after that millisecond, when he keeps coming, you're going to have to do other things. So that's why it's all wrong when you see somebody in a video on YouTube and they're in the stance already and then they're trying to punch somebody and the guy's like way over there and then they're trying to get into the stance already and then they can't reach him. And then they try to advance and then, you know, and then they're getting pounded from side to side because they're using the stance in the wrong application. That stance is only to be used momentarily because the guy's moving. The guy's either moving away or he's moving at you. And this stance is for rooting. It's for you to root into the ground. It's for you to stabilize your center of gravity. It's for you to withstand forces coming at you and redirecting it into your stance so that you don't fall down, you become more solid. But if someone's advancing at you or you need to advance at them, you cannot stay in this position. And that's the problem. People are just staying in this position and they're doing this. So now we're in this position now, and then now the first two moves, it actually is very complex and you can get really further away. And this is this. And this is what we call the cow cha sao, the cross hands. Okay, the cross hands is super important. And you can study years of fighting with the cross hands. Okay? So when we do this, we put the left hand out. And then when we flip on top, it's a double tan sao, but it's not straight, it's sideways. As well as here it's the double gan sao, okay? Now it doesn't mean that you need to do this and block somebody that's doing a kick or whatever with both hands all the time. And this could be done with one hand. Okay, so that you have your gan sao like this. So we do two hands here and two hands here. This also, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's completely two hands. So why do we put always the left hand out and the left hand out? It's because you want to exercise your left hand more because your left hand is weaker. You want to practice 3 times your left hand and only 1 time your right hand. And whatever comes first, it should be the left hand first. Because people are always right-handed and they're going to punch you on the right hand. This is somebody on the right hand side. So the first thing you need to do is practice that left hand to be out there, to block or to tan their most strongest punch. So you need to practice that all the time because that is the most important. You're using your weakest hand to contact their strongest hand. So that's why your left hand should be always out and always first. And every move that we do in the Sil Lim Tao, we use the left hand first, just so that you know that you're there to practice the left hand more than the right hand. Because the right hand, you have the power, you have the coordination, assuming that you're right-handed. So with the power and coordination, you don't need to practice the right hand as much. You need to practice your left hand much more. So this here is the very, very useful technique. So the cow cha sao is something that is really, really useful, and then just let me demonstrate it here. Okay, so this is a move that is made for self-defense. Self-defense meaning someone is only going to punch you when you have your guard down. So it's going to be like this. Your hands are going to be at the bottom. They're not going to say, I'm going to punch you now, put up your hands. So unexpectedly, your hands are way at the bottom and you don't know what's going on. But suddenly you notice that something is coming at you, whether if it's a punch or whatever, but you don't know where it's coming. So we do the cow chasao right away. And this has got to be in your reflex. So for instance, if the punch is coming to my right side here, but I don't know it's going to come from and hit me on the right here. But you do the cow chasao like this. Suddenly, you've kind of caught something. What did I catch? If you take this away, oh. If I extend my hand now, it's a tan sao. I'm simultaneously blocking and attacking with this hand. So I don't know where the punch is coming from. As soon as something comes up, you have to make this cow chasao as your natural reaction. Now you have this tan sao here that you can defend here and attack there simultaneously at the same time. Now that's making it easy. Now, assuming the punch is straight on, you didn't know it was going to be straight on, you do the cow chasao from bringing it from the bottom where you're not suspecting. You're just standing around and you notice something is coming at you. Right away you do the cow chasao. Now, in this instance, you have a choice to do two things. One is this. You want to punch with this hand? You could. You only need to relax this hand. Use this as a tan. Relax this hand. You move towards the side. Okay? Because this guy is too fast and too strong. You don't have, say in this instance, the strength to move him to the side. So in that case, if I can't move him to the side, I can move myself to the side. So to do it slow here, I'm shifting myself. I'm doing a tan here. I'm relaxing this hand so that this hand can come over and whipping right down the center here into a punch. Or depending on if he's slightly this way or he's slightly this way. If he's slightly this way, then I'm already there. If I go like this, I'm already there. I could easily just hammer fist him here. I could easily hammer fist him there, or I can just go into this, or I don't even have to do that. I could just shift my weight just a little bit, and I could just attack. So I could just attack like this. I don't even, when I go like this, I can just attack. Or I could do a lap, and I can just attack. So now, let's say the punch is coming to the left side, which I don't know, and I do the cow chasao, and right here, oh, once again, it's the same as the other side. Here's my tan sao. If I were to just extend this further, this can be attack, this can be attack. So I really have quite a lot of choices here when I get this. Usually I'm on this side. I'm not going to go to the other side because that's too far. I'm on this side already. So I could easily attack, or I could easily attack. It's really up to me. Normally you would move in. If you catch something here, you would move in and you would attack, and then you would attack, and then you would attack. So this seems to be very natural for Asian people. If you've seen this before, if you ask a girl something that they really don't like and they want to say a hard no. Like if you went to a restaurant and you have a party of 20 and the girl that brings you to the table don't have a table that goes up to 20 people, she would say, no, we don't have 20, no. And that seems to be very natural for Asians, that their sign language for no is already this. So you need to kind of burn this into your own body so that whenever something is coming at you that you don't know what's going on, right away you do the cow cha sao. You bring your hands up and then you can just do whatever you like. These are more advanced moves right now. These are very advanced moves. So I wouldn't suggest that you would start doing all this. I would advise you that in the Sil Lim Tao, just do the cross hands, the low gan, the two low gan, and then bring your hands up with the left hand in the front, and then just like this, and bring them back in and tuck your fist back under your arm. And then I think that's it for this session of part 2. The stance and how to root, how to transfer that weight down by the hip thrust into the ground, and then the cow cha sao like this, and then bring them back in. Alright, hope you enjoy this, and stay safe, wear masks when you go out. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.